People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and my soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. And this has been a crazy day of wildly fluctuating sugar levels, so forth and so on. So even though I would dearly love to take a nap, I can't, because at some point in time, my mom's sugar level went from over 100 to 67 to 37. Fed her a nutritional shake. Been working on getting her to eat the same sandwich for 2 hours. But I finally got it from, being way too low to 123 at last check. So I've gone from checking every hour to checking every 30 minutes to checking every 15 minutes to checking whenever. Once it got over 100, I went on ahead and told her, I won't bug you for another hour. Yeah, and at that time, she's got to figure out what she's going to eat for dinner, because she's eating something, whether she wants to or not. She's going to have something. And once I get her level stable, at least, in the ranges it's supposed to be, then I can take my meds and go to sleep, because after she, eats dinner and we get the level high enough, then she's got to take her meds. And, I should have knew something was up, because yesterday her sugar level was too low for her to take her insulin, which she takes at nighttime, because if it's too low, she can't take the insulin, because first thing insulin does is lower your blood sugar. And I have learned enough about diabetes to know that. I was usually a person that got grossed out over the needles and all that. I'm not that way anymore. It's like I can stick her in the stomach with her insulin and check her levels and then go away quietly to the bathroom to throw up later, But I don't look at the needle and just get grossed out anymore, which is crazy. And that means I've come a long way, because, that took years to get there. Anyway, someone asked me a very interesting question about my hair care. I guess they're transitioning and they want to figure out where they're going to go from here. But the thing is, hair, especially natural hair, is as individual as a fingerprint. So what works for me, as I told them, it's not going to work for them, and what works for them may not work for me. So I laid down 3 pieces of advice. Find a protective style you like, even if that's just braids overnight, so that way you can sleep on your hair mushed and stuff on a satin pillow or a satin bonnet or something. You just can't have your hair, curly hair and a cotton blanket or a cotton sheet is the devil. That will cause you snags like you would not believe. And if you're trying to get your hair to grow, snags is not the way to go. I was asked, what products do I use on my hair? I use Silver Streak Shampoo Bar, which is a product I created. You can find it on my Etsy, Purple Butterfly Soap, people.etsy.com. It has silk in it. It has macadamia nut oil in it. It has a lot of ingredients that's, beneficial to the hair in it. And it turns your gray streaks into a silvery color because of the grapeseed oil. In other words, it's got a lot of conditioning ingredients. I'm going to move that one out my way. Yeah, there we go. And then I use 14-in-1. Everybody by now knows about that. It's, well, let me find a bottle around here. It's this product here by Hawaiian Silky. It does 14-in-1 things. It does is a activator, a moisturizer, defies curls, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you could just read the whole list. They don't pay me, so I'm not going to go through all that. But I use mine by putting it in a old container for, like, gels or whatever, so I can use, that spray container is the stupidest thing on the planet because it provides slip, so when you're trying to squirt, your hand slides right off of it, and then, it's just easier for me to scoop it, rub it, boom. And then I use standard, everyday, clear Eco Styler gel, and I don't even use that every time. I just use that for certain hairstyles. And then I use a lot of water, a lot of patience, a lot of time, and my multivite. And by a lot of water, I mean this is my coffee cup, which has coffee literally everywhere. But today, it's got water in it. When I'm not drinking coffee out of there, I'm drinking water. Because water on the inside is almost more important than water on the outside. And you're still supposed to spray water or wet your hair every day, but you still got to have the water on the inside. And if you're a coffee drinker like me, the one thing I can tell you for sure and for certain, drink as much water, if not more, than the amount of coffee. I mean, I drink coffee 24/7. That cup has water in it for the simple fact that in about 20 minutes, I'm finna brew a whole nother pot of coffee, which means I have to have enough water to balance out the coffee, because coffee can be acidic and that can cause issues internally. I mean, a little coffee is a good thing. A lot of coffee can cause issues. The first thing they tell you, stop smoking, drink more water, cut down on your caffeine intake, blah, blah, blah. Every time they tell you about, how to take care of your hair and increase, your health, so forth and so on, well, there's a reason for that. If you drink the amount of coffee I drink on a normal basis and you don't balance that out with water or flush it out with water, you're going to end up with a kidney infection. You can stunt the growth of your hair and so forth and so on. That being said, I don't limit the stuff I like to do. I've had, my thyroid removed. My uterus, part of it was removed. I've had cancer twice. I've had a stroke. And I'm still here. So whatever's blocking your chakras, as it was, you can heal from anything. As long as you keep prayed up and keep doing what you're supposed to, like drink water, eat right, so forth, so on, then, yeah, I can go ahead and have my Cheez-Its every now and then. I can still have salads, even though I'm on Coumadin, so forth and so on. Because if I'm going to die my way. And when I was following the letter of the doctor's advice, I kept having issues. When I said, hey, look, I like my salads, I like my this, I like my that, I like my coffee, so forth, so on, I'm still here, and I'm better than ever. I mean, I still have to take my Coumadin. I would rather that pill never existed on the planet, but hey. So, if you gotta have coffee, just do some smart stuff. Put some water with it. If you gotta have nicotine, get yourself a vaping system so that way you can still have your nicotine without those 3,000 carcinogens that causes cancer in your tobacco products, so forth and so on. Just be smart about stuff. And if you're going to do your hair, keep it braided. When you do a protective style, when you come out the protective style, keep it moisturized. While you're in the protective style, keep it moisturized. Water's your best moisturizer. Drink it, wear it, use it. What else? Multivitamins. I use biotin. I use, what is it? Women's Formula gummy vitamins, multivitamin formula. And that's because that's the one my doctor approved of. I take a lot of biotin, and these are things that are actually on my prescription list for stuff that I'm supposed to take to help maintain my health after a stroke anyway. Well, those also happen to be the building blocks. I mean, like the vitamin B6s and B12s and all that. You know, it helps with the stroke, but it also helps your hair. So if nothing else, get yourself a very, very good multivitamin and some folic acid, and then drink a lot of water, and then keep your hair in a protective style. You know, I have my hair in smaller braids because it's time to do something else, like right at the tip. And this is how I trim my hair, by the way. This is my big secret. I do not trim this much and so forth. So I put my finger right at the tip, and then I cut right there, and that's all I have to take off, because the hair at the ends, they tend to get a little scraggly. Well, scraggly is because of breakage or splits or whatever. So if you have some scragglies, you might want to double check your ends. I do that twice a year. I am not one of these cut your hair every 2 weeks type of people, because that's illogical. Hair grows 6 inches a year. That means every month it's growing a half an inch. So if you're cutting your hair every 2 weeks, you're not going to never see any growth. That means you're cutting your hair too much. If you cut your hair every 3 months, and people tend to get scissor happy, oh, I cut it, now let's cut it into a style, you're also not going to see growth, because that's only an inch and a half that your hair has grown, and when you cut it into a style, you might take off 2, 3, 4 inches, 5 inches, or whatever. So every 6 months, I cut my hair about an inch. So, you know, or half an inch on average. It depends on how good I was to my hair. If I've been very good to it, I only have to cut off a half an inch for the whole 6 months, which means my hair has grown this much, and I only subtracted that much. So you still realize some growth. Anyway, that is all I do. I didn't mean to make a 10-minute video on what's seemingly not a lot of information, but your basics are your basics, and your basics are going to stay the same, and that's drink water. If you are a caffeine drinker, and by caffeine I do mean coffee, I do mean chocolate, I do mean soda pops, drink a lot of water, extra water to balance that out, multivitamins, and I only have 3 products I use in my hair. My shampoo bar, my 14-in-1 is also my conditioner and my moisturizer, and occasionally I use gel. So basically keep it simple. And then keep it protected at night. I mean, after I'm done with my hair today, excuse me, this is my whole routine right here. Put that on, tie it up, wrap it around, come back around, and you see what I'm saying? But basically, and then because of the hairstyle that I probably will have my hair in, this satin bonnet, well, the satin scarf rather, might be used bonnet style. This is one that is slightly stretchy, but not a lot, but it's not made of cotton. Oh, yeah, no cotton. If you wear cotton scarves or billets or, you know, wraps or whatever, put a satin bonnet on first, then put your wrap on. So that way, if there's cotton in there, it's not doing that free haircut from siphoning out all the moisture in your hair, because nobody likes that, and keep it protected. So this has been People of Seven on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com, and my soaps, Purple Butterfly soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. Y'all stay blessed and stay tuned. Bye now.